Good morning, friends. Welcome to Bush Poppy Farm. I'm Heather, and if you're new here, it's great to have you. If you've been around for a while, it's really good to see you again. I am a gardener and flower farmer in Zone 9B in the East San Francisco Bay Area, and we are entering our hot season. So today, I'm trying to get all the string trimming finished up and finish battling these weeds. It's been a really hard week. It's been 4 days since I've been out here. Lots of not so good stuff happening with family things. We're okay, but it's been a struggle this week. So I'm back out here today. It is going to be very hot today, which is kind of nice because the heat-loving plants are happy. The tomatoes at home are finally starting to grow, and as well as the peppers. So I'm going to immediately start trying to get the rest of the string trimming done, and then spend the rest of my time trying to put down more wood chips in the areas that are really, really weedy around my growing beds. I only have a little bit of time to accomplish all this today because today is Aiden's last day of school. He is just about to wrap up his first of the day finals, and then he has a break, and then he's doing his second final, and then he's done. With his junior year, that has been a rough year for him. So we are very excited that he will officially be in summer. Dylan will be home in 2 weeks from college, and I will have both of my boys back under my roof, and I love it so much. They are best friends. They get along so well. They are always laughing and always having a good time together, and it just makes my heart sing. So I can't wait to have my babies back together. All right, I'm going to get started, and string trimming is not super exciting, so I probably won't film that, but let's see what we can do with the wood chips. I think I'm going to have to hand hoe one of the really weedy areas because there's irrigation running through it, and the string trimmer would just shred it. So to avoid having to deal with irrigation issues, I think I'm going to have to hand weed that section, but I'm really looking forward to getting this all nailed down. And if I can finish this today, then tomorrow is transplant day. We've got lots of zinnias, lots of ornamental grasses, and more direct sowing of sunflowers. So I'm excited. The CSA for summer starts next week. And I'm hoping that on Tuesday when I do my harvest, I'll actually have some really cool stuff to harvest, especially sunflowers. I'm really hoping those will be ready because that's a great way to start the summer. So as you can see, we've got some bad news in the zinnia patch. Most of the plants are gone. Not most of them, a lot of them. Clearly, gophers are active. You can see all the soil on the surface here. So I have set 2 traps. I don't know, I've been having a really hard time catching them lately. I don't know if it's because the soil is really hard and it's very hard to get these traps in the ground now. But I feel desperate to get this one caught because these zinnias are the furthest along. I have another succession to put in the ground tomorrow, and I'm going to do that way up there, so, a little bit safer. But this, I don't want to lose these or these mums. So I think I'm going to go grab some other traps and put them in more holes and just kind of try to pepper this area with traps. And just hope that these zinnias will survive because at this point, I've lost 36 plants. That's a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab a couple more traps and set them up in this area, and please cross your fingers that I can catch this. It's probably just one because they're gonna run rampant through this bed and then they'll move on to the mums, and again, money down the drain. And like I said, I've been having a much harder time catching them than earlier when I was getting really good at catching them. And I don't know why. The ground is very hard now, so it's hard to get these traps all the way in. So maybe that's the problem, but now I'm starting to feel desperate again. Okay, I did get as much string trimming done as I had hoped. So you can see, knocked it all down through here, which is a lot better, and all through here. And this is mostly a soap plant, but then there's also a lot of thistle in there. I'm leaving it on the ground because I'm going to cover it all with wood chips, and that will obviously decompose and feed the soil. But all through here, I'm going to put a very thick layer of wood chips down. I don't have any more cardboard, but I think that's going to be okay. And then I'll come through tomorrow with my my blower and blow all the detritus off of the beds. But yeah, I really want to get this covered today. It's getting really hot, but I just had a snack because I was like shaky hungry. And I'd like to try to at least get this little section covered with wood chips because I need to go pick up Aiden soon. But, you know, you only make a little bit of progress with the string trimming because all the roots are still in the ground, and I want to kind of eliminate the growth as fast as possible. Okay, I'm going to set you guys up maybe somewhere in the shade. I don't know. It's like the sun is almost directly overhead right now. And get started moving these wood chips. Okay, well, the farthest I got is just this area here. I wanted to do more, but my heart rate's really high. I've been drinking water, but it's really high, and I think I just need to stop. Sun is directly overhead. It's hot out here, and I think I'd be better off coming back to do this another day than pushing my body. So tomorrow morning, which is Saturday, I'll just get up early while it's still cool, come do some more moving of wood chips, move those gopher traps around. I really hope I catch them. And then start transplanting. And I'm definitely not going to transplant into the current dahlia bed because the gopher activity, that's bad news. All right, so gonna head home, and then later this afternoon we'll go check on things in the home garden, see how stuff's doing out there. So it's a few hours later. It's a tiny bit cooler, not by a whole lot. But I came out here to harvest some peas for dinner tonight, but also to check on the chickens. I bought a dog crate with the idea that I would put our broody hen, Ethel, in it because she's been broody for many, many weeks, and we don't have a rooster. There's no way anything is going to hatch. And, you know, hens that go too long broody, they don't eat much, they don't drink much. It's just not good for their health. So I came out here this afternoon getting ready to set her up in a pen in the shade for a day or two until basically her body temperature comes down and her hormones shift back and she breaks out of broodiness. But she's out and about with all the other girls. And so maybe she's broken. Maybe she's broken brood on her own, which would be fantastic. Because then I wouldn't have to put her in chicken jail. So they're all dust bathing and snacking on worms and stuff. And I'm going to give them a little bit of cabbage greenery that's not going to turn into cabbage. It's not going to head up. It's too hot now. So I'm going to give that to them. And then I'm going to harvest some peas for dinner.
we've got eggs, obviously, and a couple different kinds of peas here. And then we make those for dinner tonight. And we also have some red bell peppers that we're going to grill. And then I am going to take, not the whole plant, but I'm going to cut it kind of in the middle here, a couple of these small heads of romaine. They'll grow back, but we need some lettuce. And look how pretty. These are Salanova, the red variety. Look how pretty they are. So got some stuff harvested for dinner tonight. The beans that I planted here, these are soup beans, are all going to be dried beans, and they're a variety. They're starting to come up, which is great. This is where we had our blighted potatoes. And you can see these guys, for the most part, are still blight free. So I'm just going to keep letting them go as long as possible. The ones in the back succumbed, so I took all of their greenery away, but the potatoes are still in the ground. I'm going to leave them in there for a little while longer and hope that they'll cure a bit, and then I'll pull them out. But we also have apples on a tree that we've never had apples on before. I don't think it's very many, maybe 4 or 5, but that makes me really happy. And our pear tree did hang on to a few pears. See it right there. And I think there's another one somewhere. Yeah, there's another one over there. I think that might be the only 2 pears on the whole tree. And you can see it's got this problem. It's had this for years. I remove whatever I can, summer pruning, which actually will happen pretty soon, cutting a lot of the structure back to cut off some of this disease stuff, because none of these branches are carrying fruit right now, so cutting them back won't be a problem. I'll actually do that pretty soon. And then this plum tree that got a massively hard prune 2 years ago, like cut almost to the back, to the end of each of these varieties, starting over. We've now got plums everywhere. Now I did thin these, and there's still so many. I might have to thin a few more, but there's lots of plums everywhere, which is really exciting. The blueberries, you can see, big and fat and juicy, and I just need to harvest them before the birds get them. And our blackberries are blooming, and the bees are super happy about that. This is the pomegranate tree. It has flowered for me every year since I've had it, never fruited. So here's one of the flowers closed. Here's one of them opening. Now this tree supposedly is self-fruitful, so it should be able to be pollinated by itself with bees, and there's definitely plenty of bees here, especially because the blackberries are right next to it. So I'm hopeful, because I would love to get some pomegranates. And the grape is setting fruit as well. And I gotta tell you, I'm super excited about that. I don't know if there's any more clusters around here, but I'll keep an eye out for them. Because last year it did set fruit, but they never got big. They never sized up. So I don't know if that was a fertilization thing or what. So I'm hoping this time we'll actually get grapes. This is a red seedless sweet grape. And these are Nigella. They self-sowed from last year when we had a flower bed here. They're so pretty. And you can see there's lots of stages of harvest for Nigella. You can harvest them like this in the full flower. You can harvest them like this. You can wait till the seed pod dries back completely. They're just really cool. There's volcanic dust in the air because that's part of their dust bath. They're hot. And you can tell a chicken's hot. See Penny back here. She's got her wings fluffed out to the side. And if they're really hot, they'll pant. That's not fun. Yeah, Flo's hot too. It's not terrible. Yeah, Francine's panting a little bit. They're all with their wings out to the side. That helps to cool them a little bit. Now, when it gets hotter, even than this, I think today our high was probably close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. But after that, I put big cubes of ice in their waterer. This is their waterer. It's called Coop. It's from Coop Works. You can really fill it high. And it stays relatively cool in there because it's this dark color. When it gets really, really hot, I will go buy, well, we'll freeze Tupperware with ice, but I will also sometimes go on the really hot days, like if it's over 100 degrees, I will go buy a whole bag of ice and put the whole thing in there, and it'll stay nice and cold all day. Chickens don't like to drink warm water, and so they can become dehydrated because they won't drink. The other thing I do is rig up shade for them. Now they can get shade underneath their coop, but it's not very, it's low to the ground, so there's not a lot of airflow. So over here in this corner, I've pulled it back for the season, but I have a shade cloth that I rig up that comes out. Now this tree has grown a lot, so I'm gonna have to rejigger it. But basically I pull a shade area over here so that they can, this is late in the afternoon, it's almost 5 o'clock, so that's why it looks like this now, but I recreate this during the height of the sun of the day so they can stay under it. And they're still hot, but then what I'll do is I'll fill these pans with water and sometimes ice, and it's really cute. They'll literally stand in it, stand in the ice water, and their feet are kind of the only thing that isn't covered in feathers that will take up, make their blood cooler, and it cools them down dramatically. I've seen them go from panting to looking very comfortable by standing in ice water. So that's what I do to try to keep them cool. We're lucky that we don't have extremely cold temperatures. The coldest we get in the wintertime is the upper 20s Fahrenheit. But in the summer, we can routinely have over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's rough on every creature that lives, unless you're an extremophile. So, yeah, looking at them right now, I'm going to look at the temperatures for tomorrow, but I'll probably need to come out here, maybe give them a little bit of ice or at least a cold water bath for them to walk through. So they're doing good though. And my broody girl is out. She's still out. So I think maybe she's not broody anymore. That's such good news. One of the other problems is if your chicken is broody in the heat of summer and they won't leave the nesting box, if the nesting box is in a warmer place, they could get heat exhaustion. So again, it's fine if they're hatching chicks. That's a 21-day process. But at this point, she's been broody for like 6 weeks. It's too long, not safe. But I really feel good about this. Look, they're like nesting down because she took a dust bath and she's like chilling. Yeah, they're happy. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go get this produce inside, clean it up, and get it ready for dinner. And that's gonna be it for today. I'm hoping tomorrow, the plan is to go back out to the farm, finish with the wood chips early in the morning, and get stuff transplanted. And then, of course, move gopher traps because, yeah, gophers. So I want to get as much of that done before like 11 a.m. as possible because that's when it really starts getting very hot. That way I can come back and give these guys all the cold water that they need. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope you have a great time in your garden and a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.